Story Machine introduction for the beta. I'll do a quick run through of the process. I'm going to create a quick story, just calling it beta example. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'll look over here and pick an art style. This one is Flux and it has a lot more flexibility. These are all different Stable Diffusion XL variants. I'll go with that one. And then in this beta example, I'm going to just say, tell me a story. And let's do thief. And then we can generate our characters. If you wanted to just go straight to characters, you can. You just click references here on the side, and then you can make new references. Here it's generating these, and so while the LLM runs, it will continue to pop out these characters. You can see that it's slowly filling in the details. So this is Lyrian, Theron. So Lyrian here gives an example physical description. There's also going to be a story description, which if you use the generate plot for the plot editor, the story will be generated using these descriptions. Sometimes there's an extra one that pops up at the end if the LLM is spitting out some extra story stuff, so we can just remove that. So we have Kira, Mira, Theron, and Lyrian. All right. And so we can, if we want to, change any of these. And so I'm going to say, make her eyes a normal color, modify. This modify ability is through Flux Context, and it will only change the little spots that you asked it to. So the rest of this image should remain the same, while only her eyes will change. And it doesn't change this description here at all. So if you do regenerate, it will get rid of any of your edits. So now her eyes are blue instead of that weird red color. Here we go. Here we go. Right now, this audio section is not going to be used in the actual clip generation, but you can play around with it. So you can see that we have different voices here. We can do this, and you hit test, and it'll play out a short clip. And if you click test V2V, you can then speak some phrase, click it again, and it'll speak it out. But that is really just there for testing at the moment, since it's not going to be used. Now that we have our references, we can generate our plot. This plot generation is pretty basic at the moment, but it will make a story. I suggest this is one of the most important parts for the user in the loop to really get in there and make the story what you want it to be. If you need to add more scenes, come down here at the bottom and add a plot section. You can also drag it around and reorder. And so now we have that set up as scene 10. Or we can drag it up, and now it's scene 6. Let's see, which one should we use as an example? We'll do this one. And now it's going to really flesh out that 2-sentence description into a much longer description for the scene. And again, you can just jump straight to here if you want to. You just click new scene, come here, scene, and you can edit it as you need. So as soon as it gets done generating this text description, it's going to then generate a generic background. These references can be anything. So if we wanted this background, or we could have something as well scene, let's say we want, where are they meeting? In a tomb. Let's say we want a idol. And then we'll say it's a golden idol in a temple. Generate. What this is going to do is it's going to make another reference. And these references have their tags. So idle and scene. And we'll just say that's fine. If you wanted to change the text, you can either just directly edit it, or you can say, like, make it more adventurous. And then you click the modify scene text, and I'll update all the scene text here. But what we want to do is get it long and go ahead and get into generate clips. All right, so now it is generating all the clips, and you'll see that it has these references that it pulls in. It can only do maximum of 3 references at the moment. And so if it wants all 4 characters, it'll only be able to do 3 at a time, unfortunately. So we can go ahead and generate some of these. And those images are going to start loading in. You can see that it's still like generating more clips as we go. And one of the best parts of this tool is this large parallelization that you can do. While this is generating, you can go back and modify your references, modify your plot, start new scenes even if you want to. There may be some issues if you're generating multiple scene, like shot lists at the same time. But once you have all the shots generated, generating the different images and videos within those shots should be fully parallelizable. Up here, we have the same image description and edit options. So here we have text at the bottom, but we don't want. So let's go to the edit option. Remove the text at the bottom. Modify. And again, this should only update the part that we said we care about. So these text bits should be removed. Let's see if it does it. There we go. And it did. With the video, again, all these have the AI generated defaults. Go in, change them as you need to, use the edit as you need to. With the video, same thing, AI generated defaults of what it thinks the action should be. So we can click get video. Veo 3 is going to be somewhat limited, and you should only use it sparingly. So just note there, use that sparingly. Here we have the add audio. What this button will do is it will open the folder that's storing all of these generated bits. And so if we hit audio, we now have that folder open. So we have all the characters, shot images, and it'll do the clips here as well. Everything that's generated will come here. If you make a music.mp3 file in this area, it will then allow you to add audio that will then track with the clips. And again, well, just doing a few of these examples just to get a good base. So you can see what happens. Perfect. I kind of like that view, so we will go ahead and get that video. Currently, all of this is being sent to different services. We're using Stable Diffusion XL, as well as Flux, as well as Flux Context for the images, and the images with references are using Runway Frames, and then we're using Kling for the video. So it's a little odd that I'm using Runway for the images, but they're currently what I consider the best on doing those reference-based image generations. If you had like a product, you could also include that. Here, we're going to look at the references. So here are all the references. We have our scene references, and we also have the character references that we can choose from. So I can add the idol, I can remove the scene as an option. I can remove Lyria, I can add, let's say, Mira. We can say Mira holding idol. And since we have these tags, idle and Mira, when we generate, it should understand what we're talking about with the tag Mira being used in the text here and idle being used in the text here. It's important to note that that is not something that happens in the video description. The videos don't understand the references, and so do not use the names of characters. Instead, you need to say the man. So here it says Theron. It probably doesn't understand Theron, so you should say the man holding the sword or the man on the right. So we have the video, nice fire and a little bit of a zoom. And we have Mira holding the idle now. Nice. So Mira, idle, and you'll notice there's no background because we both didn't have the background as a reference and we did not specify any background. And so it's usually more or less the background for the Mira character, this neutral gray, as the standard background. You'll find that that will be the case anytime you don't specify a background. It will use the background from one of the reference images. And it is playing through nicely. I will get this play and everything out of the way there. So I'll fix that bug soon. But yeah, this is Story Machine. A couple last things. When you need to go back home, you can go back home. You can go into your other projects and you can see all the different shots that you have in those projects and scroll around. And then going back to the player. This player will play through all of your scenes. So you hit play and it goes through all of the scenes. Yeah, so please try it out and let me know how it goes for you. And I am looking forward to your feedback.